So I picked up a copy of Atomic Habits recently, and now I'm all about habit tracking. The book just makes it like easy and actionable, and now I want to try it out. This is a YouTube short posted by Dominic Hart, and he's talking about how he sets up his habit tracker. It's like just really simple. Some of the ones I've seen look pretty crazy, and his just looks like it's like easy and simple and not too much work to set up and to actually like track the things that you want to track. I don't know, some people's habit trackers just look really complicated and I can't be bothered. Sorry. I've tried tracking it in my planner like this, but it's just kind of sloppy. Also, yes, my handwriting is sloppy too, and I wanted another way to try to do it. Yeah, I did make my own version and I'm going to share that with you. Okay, so I've only been doing it for a few days now, and my format might change, but this is just kind of how it is so far. I'm using a sheet of graph paper because I'm cheap, and I didn't want to commit to a full-on notebook just yet in case I don't like it. But anyway, this is for February 2026. I have it labeled here and also here. I have all of the days of February, going from February 1st to the 28th here at the bottom. And then this month I am tracking meditation, reading, walking for 30 minutes, painting / art because I like to draw, working out, and then just uploading on YouTube because I know that I'm inconsistent. And then every time I do one of these, I just color it in to the corresponding date. So on February 1st, I meditated, I read, and I walked, but I didn't paint, work out, or upload on that day. And yeah, I just kind of colored in the boxes. I might do some X's later on just because I feel like I'm wasting a lot of ink doing it like that, but I kind of just want to see how it's going to look all the way down the line. And then I kept the memorable moments section, but I changed what information I'm going to track here. His is just kind of like what stuck with him that day, I guess. I don't know how else he called it, but I'm just going to write things that I can feel good about. As a perfectionist and as someone who's like really hard on myself, I think writing things like prepped my therapy homework and did my notes or walked on the walking pad for 37 minutes are some things that I can kind of celebrate within myself and have like that little sprinkle of accomplishment. So yeah, that's kind of what it's looking like. Let me zoom out for you. Yeah, very simple and cheap because, you know, you don't need a notebook for everything. Not yet. One of the things that Atomic Habits talks about is that we oftentimes will celebrate like big milestones, and kind of in between those milestones, we don't really get a lot of feedback, or we don't get a really like a chance to feel good. So I'm trying to make my milestones like smaller and have like smaller things to feel happy about, I guess. Like, I don't know, it's hard for me to feel proud of myself sometimes, you know? I think the last time I felt any type of pride in myself was when I read 20 books last year for the first time ever in my life. I usually average like 3 to 5 books a year. And I think I was able to feel that way because I had the stack of 20 books in front of me. Like I had a whole like set up for that video where I could see those books and I could see that I had, you know, read those things. It was very physical. It was very tactile. But for things like meditating and, I don't know, walking, there is no physical way or tactile way to see that you have done those things. And I think sometimes, like, even if I stay consistent with those, not being able to see it is kind of like, it doesn't feel as good. And I hope that by tracking it like this and seeing it kind of fill up as the month goes by, hopefully I can feel some of that pride that I've stayed consistent in, you know, meditation and reading and all that stuff. I also just want to see what it's going to look like at the end of the month. Am I going to stay consistent? Am I going to miss a few days? Am I going to feel bad if I miss a few days, you know? Is it going to look cute when all the boxes are colored in? Things like that. Like, I don't know. I've never done this before, so it's kind of just like exciting to me. It sounds like really nerdy, but I just want to see like what it's going to look like with all the boxes colored in and with it all like filled out, you know? I want to do an update on this after like the month is over and kind of reflect on it and see how it was for me. Was it hard? Was it easy? Was it something that I just kind of found to be annoying? This is kind of going to be like a very like in progress type thing. I think when I've watched these like habit tracking videos, it's from people who've been doing it for like a year already, or sometimes for several years. They have all these notebooks. And it's like, where's the people just starting out? You know, like, is this really as accessible and as life-changing as you guys say it's going to be? Or is it just, you know, it just looks cool? Like, I don't know. I want to like kind of figure that out for myself. And that's kind of why I wanted to make a video about this. If you want to try tracking your habits and setting it up like Dominic's, I will leave a link to his YouTube short in the description of this video. It helped me and maybe it will help you. Also, shout out to the book Atomic Habits by James Clear. I think reading that book has kind of been the inspiration to why I want to start doing this stuff. My 2026 like resolutions, one of them at least, is to try to fix my life a little bit. And I think reading that book is somehow helping me get there. So there's that. But anyway, yeah, that's pretty much the video. Let me know if you are a habit tracker, if this is something that you're interested in. Maybe we can try it out together. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Take care of yourself. I'll see you next time. Bye.